Hello, Mr. Ray Gunnin, who is running for the position of Cherokee County Commission. I'm Trenton Adams, and welcome to the Cherokee County Republican Party candidate interviews. Thank you for taking the time out of your campaign to participate in this interview process. We've extended this invitation to all candidates in this race and sourced questions from the CCRP membership. We have found that it has been an asset for voters in making their decision. The video will appear on the Cherokee County GOP website and will be shared on social media. The interview will be shown unedited in its entirety. For the interview, we will ask you a number of questions but can offer no prompting. There are no right or wrong answers, only your answers. We ask each candidate the same questions. If this is all right with you, I'll have everyone introduce themselves and then I'll ask Larry to begin asking the questions.
Yes, please.
Larry Mrozinski.
Harry Abrams.
Okay.
What is the current state of the county?
I feel right now the county is in a good position. I've seen a increase in development start back. I've also seen an increase in the commercial end of it. We have a lot of new businesses that are coming in our industrial park over near 75. We have it's created hundreds of jobs in that area. The latest one was the Papa John's facility that's going to be built. They're going to be a distribution center for Papa John's, estimated 105 jobs. That being said, the starting salary, the average salary starting was going to be about $60,000 to $65,000, which that is going to be a good job opportunity for citizens of the county. And the airport area is also starting to grow, and I think that is because we have lengthened the airport runway to where they can land some of the bigger corporate jets in there, and the CEOs and head of these corporations can come in, look at our area, and then fly back out. They don't have a hard time getting here. And I just think we're in a good position right now to start bringing jobs to this county and stop being just a sleeper neighborhood for the city of Atlanta and other areas. And I would love to see more jobs created here and opportunity for our citizens to work here in the county and not have to travel so far every day to get a good job.
Do you know the mission statement for the Cherokee County Board of Commissioners?
I might reluctantly say no, I cannot remember it. I have it in my office on my wall, but I cannot remember it word for word. I'm sorry. I just can't.
What is your plan to create jobs in Cherokee County?
Right now, I want to continue in the 75 corridor where the Development Authority is purchasing property now. We have commitments from some companies that are coming there. We have the Cabela's store there. One of the big changes that's coming up is going to be that Cabela's was bought out by Bass Pro Shops. And so we don't know exactly what that's going to bring. I'm hoping it will bring maybe the Bass Pro Shops will not build in the Daresville area and move to Cherokee County and expand that area. And we have had some talk of some different businesses moving in to that corridor. And if they do, that's going to bring some more jobs there. And then also, as I mentioned a while ago, the airport area, I'd like to see more businesses start to be developed up there. And hopefully we can start using our airport more. Since we've got it longer, the bigger jets can come in. We can start using it to help bring jobs here, but also bring possibility of maybe some shipping come in there, maybe some passengers come in there. But either way, I think the Development Authority, the economic development, they all are top-notch.
What can further be done by the Cherokee County Commission to spur economic development?
I believe that we have to work with some of these facilities that come in. They have certain requirements that they need when they come in, and we have to look at those, see what impact those requirements will have on the surrounding areas, and we have to work with these businesses to make them come in here. We've had to do some variances on some signs because it's what the corporation called for, and the sign heights and stuff like that, it didn't really affect any of the neighborings, but it was just something that we had to look to. And I believe that we have to look at our impact fees that we're currently charging for business to locate here, and we have to be able to work with these corporations on the impact fees and what it costs them to locate here, because if we don't, they're going to look to other areas that are cheaper, and so we have to be able to be somewhat flexible on our impact fees.
What is the commission's role in information infrastructure, such as internet and communications?
We don't have, right now, there's not a lot of competition in the county as far as infrastructure goes for internet. We have one company that most everybody uses, and there's some more here, but I would like to see us be a county that could possibly, when it gets a little bit bigger and gets going a little bit more, is like the Google internet and some of those things, because I think it'll bring a much faster internet system here, and that's what businesses are looking for. They have to have the speed when they go on the internet. They can't have a slow system. Some of the stuff they do has to be done immediately, and we have to be able to work to get bigger, better, faster internet systems here in the county.
Do you support a T-Splost initiative?
I believe yes. I not believe, but yes, I would if it was used for the correct things. The thing of it is I know a lot of citizens are not in favor of the T-Splost because they are not what you want to say, not believing what is being broadcast about the T-Splost. And I believe it's time that if we get out and educate the citizens on what we really can do with the T-Splost, that some of the road projects can be fixed. It would also be a chance to eliminate property taxes, and that's what I'm looking for. I would like to see a consumer-based tax instead of the property tax that burdens so many people. Just let everybody pay for it. And there's different opinions on that, and I'm open to listen to all of them, but I believe that T-Splost can work and will work if done correctly.
What items in the county budget need the most scrutiny?
I believe anywhere in the budget we need to place scrutiny on it. Any department can be looked at and looked at the possibility of ways to cut the budget for that area and shift the money to somewhere else that can be used better. I don't think there's any one place that has to be looked at, but all the departments have to be looked at, scrutinized, and worked with those department heads to cut back where they can. And we run a pretty lean budget already. Our employee to population ratio is one of the lowest in the Atlanta area. And so the employees are what you want to call one of our biggest assets, because without those employees, without them being budget aware, the county could really cost more to run than what it does. But I think every department has to be scrutinized, and everything we do in this county has to be scrutinized.
Would you consider having in-house legal counsel in an attempt to control legal expenses?
Yes, I would. That is something that has become a hot item issue lately. I would like to see us have a in-house counsel that our employees can go to, or staff members can go to every day to ask questions, and then use maybe a bigger legal firm to handle the bigger cases that we come up with. But right now we need a legal counsel that everybody can go to on a day-to-day basis and talk to about legal problems, contracts, questions, and I think that would be a major asset to us. And then we have the bigger legal firms to take care of the bigger problems we have, them not to tie up our in-house legal counsel on those.
Are you familiar with Cherokee County's organizational chart, and which departments reporting to the Board of Commissioners are you best prepared to work with?
Yes, I'm familiar with the organizational chart. You know, prior to my being elected last time as commissioner, I worked for 34 years in the fire department. My last 6 years was as fire chief, and so I was very familiar with the budget, the organizational structure, and things like that. Repeat the question again. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
No problem. Are you familiar with Cherokee County's organizational chart, and which departments reporting to the Board of Commissioners are you best prepared to work with?
Oh, any of them that report to the Board of Commissioners, I'm ready to work with them. If they come to me with a problem, I'm going to try to help them, because they wouldn't come to me or they wouldn't come to Mr. Cooper if they didn't have a problem. And so, you know, departments like the fire department, if they have a need or want, come to us, I'm ready to work with them. Public safety and period. Our fire department has been able to lower their ISO rating from a 7 to a 3. And that's something that we've tried for years to get done, and we made it. And we only missed a 2 by less than 1/10 of a point. So we're close, and we'll get it. And I'm really, you know, willing to work with them to give them what they need. Sheriff's office, same way. Sheriff's office has one of the best sheriff's departments in the state. We have a top-notch training facility now that is used by the state. Roads and bridges. When I first come in office, we had one tractor with a mower and the other one was tore up. So, and we were getting calls daily about roads needing cut. So we've got more tractors ordered and we've got more people to run them, and so maybe we can keep the sides of the roads cut. But you know, things like that pop up every day that we don't see, but the citizens see and the citizens want. And so I have to work with the different departments, whichever it may be, to find a way to cure the problem. So, you know, I'm open to work with anybody.
$426.46 is the per capita long-term debt that the county says it has control over.
Mm-hmm.
However, the county makes no attempt to break this down into what actually constitutes this debt. Do you believe in itemizing such figures to truly define what the individual issues are?
Yes, sure. You know, I believe in budget terms. I've always worked with a line item budget. We always had to have a explanation for every penny that we're being spent. And if we have, you know, the debt, the $426, then I'm sure we can break it down and find out where that debt's at. And I have no problem doing that. I don't think it would be that big of a problem to do. But I do believe in a line item budget, and I think that's the only way that you can operate. You can't just give a department a certain amount of money and just not giving an answer to where they're going to spend it at prior to giving it to them. And I think if they have that line item budget, that they must work with it and work within it.
Are you in favor of public co-signing for private company operations?
No, sir. That time, you know, in our prior history, we've had a situation that happened, and it did not work out well for the county. And I'm not in favor of it. I think that the prior one that was done, the operator had no skin in the game, and it fell through terribly. And we have just now been able to sell that plant, get an operator in, starting to get some of the money back. We'll never recoup all the money that was lost in that deal, but we'll be able to get some of it back. But I don't believe in the county should co-sign with an individual on any project like that.
What is your position on term limits?
I believe that there should be term limits. I've not really sat down and thought about what departments need what term limits. For myself, commissioners, I think that once you serve in a commissioner position for maybe a term, maybe, you know, take it back, not a term, but 2 terms, you need to really start and look at how effective you are and make sure you haven't got too complacent in a position and not making the right choices that need to be made. And I do believe in term limits. I don't think anybody should stay in a position like some of our United States senators are, been in there 30, 40 years. They become ineffective. They're not doing what the citizens want done. They're playing a game of politics, and I don't believe in that. I believe that people should stay in office as long as they're being effective. And once they're not effective, I think it's time to move on, let somebody else do it. That's what the United States was built on.
Three-part question. What is the current state of the Ball Ground Recycling Center?
Mm-hmm.
2, what steps have been taken to prevent similar occurrences in the future? And 3, what other steps would you propose?
Currently, the Ball Ground Recycling Facility, we were able to, we went through many companies coming to visit us, go look at the plant, left. They would always say, we're going to send you a letter of intent back, and we never would get one. And we went, and we met with Calvert Mulch out of Forsyth County, who has a good facility over there. He has a lot of product being brought in to recycle, and he was interested in the plant. He made us an offer on it, and we calculated up and looked at it and said, you know, if we don't do something with this machinery, it's going to sit here and run, and all we're going to have left is a bunch of infrastructure and property with nothing to do with it. So we made a deal with him. He came in, and he's made many improvements to that facility, a lot of equipment. Some of the stuff had to be upgraded, changed, and all, and he's done that. Second part.
What steps have been taken to prevent similar occurrences in the future?
I can't remember what steps we put in place other than got to use some common sense and not vote to do this again. I mean, it was a bad deal from the go. I just don't see any way that the county could come out on that when it happened. And I know the board that is currently in place, it won't happen while that board's there. And if we, you know, we probably could in some time write up an ordinance that says, you know, that we won't go into these other kind of projects. But there's also state law that says that one board can't bind another board to a deal. I mean, they can't bind the other board from moving forward with a project they may want to. So there's legalities that go along with that. You know, I would like to say that, you know, we could make an ordinance that says that you can't do that again, but we can't bind future boards. By doing that, we would bind future boards from being able to do what they feel like they may need to do. And but I would like to see something put in place that would prevent us from doing that again.
In Reed versus Town of Gilbert, the Supreme Court held that signage could not be regulated based on content. This led to a change in the signage ordinance of Cherokee County. Do you agree with how the new ordinance currently stands? Please explain.
Yes, I agree with what the new ordinance said. There was a long route to get there, but we finally got there. We actually wound up that was able to put out more campaign signs than we did before, and I'll be one to go on record to tell you that I don't like campaign signs. I think that it's a lot of money spent on something that we could spend on a lot better things, each individual that's putting them out there. And I say that based on needs of some of our homeless veterans, some of our homeless people we have in the county. I could see that money being shifted over and used for things like that. I know that's just my opinion, but signs seem to work. They say, you know, it's been said that they work, and so I put them out just like everybody else does. I do think they get intrusive sometimes, and but I think that there should be something that you have permission before you put a sign out, and not just put them in the right on the property line where nobody knows who told them they could put it there, but the sign's there. I've seen a lot of that lately, and I wish there was a way to regulate that. But as far as the sign ordinance goes, we were trying to avoid some of the more, I want to call you, if you want to call them filthy signs that you see on the interstates or whatever. I didn't want to see that come to the county. I don't want to see them advertised for adult bookstores, adult videos, and all that on the side of our roads in Cherokee County. When that came about, That was one of our fears. It did happen in some other counties. The billboard companies or the signage companies came in, bought the rights to put, or got permits to put signs up before that county could act on the new law. And now there's a possibility that they're going to get some signs not wanted in those counties. And I didn't want to see that happen in Cherokee County.
Are there any boards, committees, or authorities reporting to the Board of Commissioners that could be eliminated or combined?
Like I said a while ago, we run a pretty lean ship, and the standard when we was in the fire department was you didn't want more than 5 people reporting to any one person. Once you got that, more than that reporting to any one person, that person lost control, and it's called span of control. You're only capable of running a certain amount of departments. If you get above that, things don't go good, and it happens in public service, and it would happen in the county too. If you combined too many things in one area, somewhere along the line, something's going to be dropped. And I think right now, the way things are set up, we have the different departments reporting to one person in charge, but each department under them has a person in charge of them. So that way you only have one person reporting to the person in charge, and then it's right up to Mr. Cooper and then up to the Board of Commissioners. And that keeps your span of control, and it keeps things from getting lost in the system or dropped. And I think that's why we have such success we do in the county.
Will your personal and professional life allow you to dedicate the time required to fulfill your duties to the Board of Commissioners and ultimately the residents of your district?
Yes, I believe so. I retired from the fire department in 2011, so my wife was understanding enough that when I was asked to run for office, she knew what it was going to take. She has lived with me. You know, we've been married for 35 years, and she knows what it takes to be a public servant because she was one also in DeKalb County, and she knows what it takes. And she's agreed, you know, that she knows that sometimes she has to take the back seat when we have things going on, but sometimes that, I'm not going to do that. I believe in at all times we have to put, you know, my family, we put God first, family second, and jobs third. But I feel like I'll have plenty of time to do what I do. As a matter of fact, at 3 o'clock this morning, I was on the computer working on stuff then, and this was, you know, due with some annexations that are going on. And I work as many hours as it takes. That's the reason a lot of times when I get a phone call early in the morning, everybody gives me a hard time about, well, you're not up yet? And I'm like, no, because I was up till 3 or 4 o'clock last night. And but no, it's I'm used to it in the fire department. You do what you got to do, and that's the way I look at this job. You got to do what you got to do to get it done, and that's what the citizens expect out of me.
The board submitted through the legislators a request that was disconcerting to a number of voters. Would you be in favor of requiring such submissions to the legislators be done prior to the legislative session so that voters could have input and not during the legislative session?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. We had one case in particular recently, and we have before the legislative session starts, we always have a delegate day where everybody meets with a delegation from our district, and we talk to them, and we met with them and talked to them about it. And things didn't work out in the end, but it was, you know, different problems that come up with it, and it didn't work out. And but yes, I think that we need to have prior meetings and get the public input. And, you know, and I think we need, by doing that, not only do we get public input, but we get a chance to explain to the public why we are asking for anything that we're asking for. And I think a lot of times that education of the public is something that is lacking, and I think if the public was more educated in some of the things we're doing, they would better understand why we do it, and instead of getting the neighborhood rumors about what's going on and things like that. They actually know what's going on, and I'm all for that. I'm all for educating the public, and I try every chance I get to talk to them and try to educate them on anything that they want to ask me about. And
for solutions to the traffic and other infrastructure issues, do you support the regional approach such as the Atlanta Regional Commission or another method of dealing with these issues?
yes, we have the new House bill that went into effect this year has allowed the state to collect more tax money to come in, and that money has allowed us to kick off some projects that have been sitting dormant for many years. We have one project that's in my area that's of major concern to a lot of people is the Highway 140 Fulton County line, the bridge. That bridge is old. It's been there for many years. And as I said, I was in the fire department for many years, and I can remember that bridge supposed to have been replaced back in the 1980s, and it's never been done because money would be set forth, project would be starting to move forward, then all of a sudden money would be moved. And so we've had a commitment from the Department of Transportation of Georgia that they will move forward with the replacement of that bridge. Contract should be let sometime this year, and the redesign of a new bridge beside the old bridge, and then the old bridge will be reworked if needed if the Highway 140 is 4-laned. But Highway 140 being 4-laned is another problem that we needed in Cherokee County to get the the traffic flowing into Fulton over to Highway 400. But currently, all municipalities are not in agreement with 4-laning Highway 140, and that's something that's going to have to be worked on between the state, the counties, the other cities in Cherokee County, and we've all going to have to come into an agreement that we have got to get the traffic moving in that area, and the only way to do it is to 4-lane that all the way to Highway 400, and that's what I'm looking for, and I'm hoping that we can keep pushing it forward.
Are you currently a member of the Cherokee County Republican Party?
Yes.
We would like our elected Republican leaders to help us grow the party. Please briefly describe any significant efforts you have made in the past to support the Republican Party and/or Republican candidates locally, statewide, or nationally.
Well, I'm currently a member of the Republican Party. As I stay apprised of the presidential elections, I try to help there where I can, if not monetarily, but just by discussing it with people, discussing what the United States needs. We need a lot right now. We're in deep trouble, and we've got to get a more conservative approach to what we're doing. And I feel like the only way that we can do it is for the Republicans to step up, get in office. But the Republicans also have to be able to get along amongst themselves and stop infighting and all that. And we must start getting along so our party can unite and become a party to be contended with, and that's what I look for. As far as being active locally, no, I'm not really that active locally because time constraints. I just don't. I have to decide what's most important, and sometimes I don't have the time to do that and do my commissioner job also. And so, I'll help if I can, if I'm asked. But a lot of times I'm not as active as I would probably like to be or need to be, but it's just time constraints.
Have you or has any organization or business under your control ever declared a bankruptcy, been sued, or currently facing liens or other financial issues?
No.
Have you ever been arrested or convicted of a crime excluding traffic offenses?
No.
And have you ever been the subject of professional discipline or cited for breach of ethics or unprofessional conduct by any disciplinary committee, court, administrative agency, or other professional group?
No.
Thank you very much for doing this interview with us, and if there's anything else you'd like to say to the viewers?
Thank each of you for taking your time to come out tonight to do this. I hope that many people see this on the website And I look forward to, my whole life I have had the opportunity to work and serve people and help people. That's what my job in the fire department was to help people. And when I retired, I did it because I had met my length of time to work for the fire department, and we were in a budget crunch, and we needed to eliminate some positions, and we were able to do an incentivized retirement for 13 of us that all started about the same time. And we all retired, and by doing that, we were able to save about $750,000 a year. Did I want to go? Well, probably not. I love the fire department. I love that more than anything. But when I got out, I was encouraged to run for office, and I didn't really know whether I wanted to or not, but then after I looked at it, I said, you know, if I can do that, I can still help people. And that's the only reason I want to do this job. I'm not into what you want to say, politics a lot, but I'm just there to help the people, and that's all I want to do. I don't want to do any of the other stuff. You know, I want to help people get what they need, and we have citizens out there that are elderly that need some help right now. You know, we have veterans that live in this county that are homeless. People may not realize it, but they are here, and you know, and we need to do programs. We need to do stuff like that to help people, and that's the only reason I want to do this job. I want to do it one more term and see how things are going, and I hope I can finish accomplishing some of the things I started in my first term. I think I'll be better and faster at getting them done this second term, and that's what I want to do. And if I can do that, you know, I think I'll find something else after that to do to help people in another way. But that's all I want to do is thank God put me on this earth to help people, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I just want to thank everybody for watching this. Don't forget, early voting starts May 2nd. The primary is on May 24th. And when you go out to vote, I would ask that you give me a consideration, push my lever, and we'll see what we can get done this next time. But thank you all.
Thank you.